Data brings light. People who don't like light don't like data. So when you see a politician trying to talk, you just say, bring the data to support what you are saying.
Akufo-addo na CD no 1.2.
Okay.
And now over 8 years no, omo movie CD no to 4.2. More than 300% increase.
Look at you.
The dollar to CD is 5.4. If NDC were managing the economy, then it drew 12 points, baby.
Dr. Bawumia, when your fundamentals are weak, your exchange rate will expose you. That time, now $1 to 4 cedis, and net $1 to 12 cedis. Okay, as we did the next day, propaganda, the whole Ghana newspapers were cut off. I don't insult. I tell the truth. You said all these things, and I'm drawing the attention of the delegates. Say NDC is going to use all these things against us. What I said, the man spoke well about the economy of the country. He gave 170 questions to Vice President Emisata to answer. And then also your Vice President or President Tedia Yentimi and Kanya Waka. Also, you have the inflation and the lock and key. Is that what is going on from 11% to 47%? Is it an insult or the truth? I am drawing the attention of delegates. So these things are going to be used against Dr. Bawumia. What you say? It's not an insult. It's the gospel truth.
If you took Crodd, the Albert Shed, the Akosi Yamiani, and Papa Sewajimia, Yahoo Gyimifoɔ Afia Pokuaa.
Economy we ya ho chiri sei. Mo fi se mu nyansa ama mo. Ya be se samo firi ho. President ni ono wadi ni 8 years ebi o. Wadi ni 8 years ebi enti no okika ne nsam saa no. Na si campaign did. Onimzi oni chance bi abi okọ. Si campaign. Some more person to ask mo say 8 years to break. You break it and we shall see. How can you people sit in this country for people to, fool us? Think that we are just stupid people and they just don't respect us. Any stupid decisions then they put before.
All right, 1 hour with Monofie. We did say and Obia hon a sign about and a Baba Ghana drew. Yeah, Baba J Ghana as he was saying da no or shock absorbers are straight up. We need shock absorbers so much. Now about because bomb baby baba and better Tony style baby bobo among phobia mom thing in eye. That is what we're gonna do today. This is 1 hour with Monofie Medi and William Monofie Amankona. Now, suddenly, a couple of days ago, a lot of things has actually happened in Ghana, and that is something you and I are going to discuss today because Supreme Court is making some judgment. Well, what actually came, and then the decision on taking here did it come to that particular conclusion. So that is something we're going to discuss today, and then a whole lot of things. Vim lady. Why am I going to say to be a man also for upon board Prophet 1? But she got it all wrong. And then we will prove to Vim lady say she got it all wrong. Near Ghana now. There are two groups of persons in the world that sometimes when you attack them are very difficult. Physically challenged person and then a woman. And when somebody is a woman and as a physically challenged person, these two kinds of person will always be, and so make mistake now when you want to correct them are very difficult because one we are not obi ante was here. That is something we're gonna be doing today. Supreme Court so decision on the buy, we don't know. For me, name what came up. But the question we are going to ask and say, Say Obika say when a Supreme Court decision about the question we're going to ask you is a kind of court assembly yeka. That is the key question in Ghana for the now. It seems that we are not paying attention to because your court in the world, the court not at the attention any court be Ghana a politically tinted court. So which kind of court are we actually talking about here? Is it the politically tinted court Iowa Ghana and assembly yeka? And I say it is a kind of court we are here. We are some man saying in names a court there. Say all patent training a court in our corner. That is something we're going to discuss today. Until the data eba be yejuma. Seni Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ankasa akachere no.
Data brings light. People who don't like light don't like data. So when you see a politician trying to talk, you just say, bring the data to support what you are saying.
All right, so this is something that Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia asserted pace. He said, when you see a politician trying to talk, ask the politician to bring data. Until we're going to present the data, and here they be Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has questions. Now, part of that question, and I believe, say, Vim lady got it all wrong. If I tell Yenti Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in this particular address or addressing Ghanaians and then to the whole world, then we are going to ask Afia Pokuaa Vim lady say, Onya Gyimifoɔ no what's in the US no? Does she see the same thing on the soil of US? If I tell every video in Emra.
And I'm also happy to note, Your Majesty, that Ghana early next year will be introducing a credit scoring system for individuals. That credit scoring system, every individual will have a credit score. Right now, our credit scoring system does not exist. So everybody is seen as risky and the interest rates are high. But we are going to move into individualized credit scoring. So if you don't pay your loan, you have low credit scores, isn't it? And if you go for a loan, you'll have a problem. But if you are diligent in repaying your loans, then your credit score will be high and you are likely to get lower interest rates. You will have more discipline as a result. The Ghana card will also become this anchor for a credit system in Ghana. I visited a couple of car manufacturers in Accra, notably in Solar Taxi, and they manufacture cars and they give the cars on credit to people. And the only information they need from those people is their Ghana card. You give them the Ghana card, they will give you a car, you work and pay over time. And I'm also happy to note, Your Majesty, that Ghana early next year will be introducing a credit scoring system for individuals. That credit scoring system, every individual will have a credit score. Right now, our credit scoring system does not exist. So everybody is seen as risky and the interest rates are high. But we are going to move into individualized credit scoring. So if you don't pay your loan, you have low credit scores, isn't it? And if you go for a loan, you'll have a problem. But if you are diligent in repaying your loans, then your credit score will be high and you are likely to get lower interest rates. You will have more discipline as a result. The Ghana card will also become this anchor for a credit system in Ghana. I visited a couple of car manufacturers in Accra, notably in Solar Taxi, and they manufacture cars and they give the cars on credit to people. And the only information they need from those people is their Ghana card. You give them the Ghana card, they will give you a car, you work and pay over time.
All right, so these were the words of His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. On the car manufacturing companies, the only thing they need is your Ghana card. You get a Ghana card, they give you a car. And His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Eko Asante Memu. Now, whilst meeting the clergy, Reverend Opambo ebisa a very simple question. If I tell you question.
I am a debate say menim penifo adehye yewura president asofo penifo erwade nhira mo se ehye mu ha erwade nhira obia na me sra busa se Ghana card etimi me yenya ka ebetima me yenya ka free because koso wo manimu a me menti ase me se me ma obia nso nu se Ghana card ebetimi de yenya ka free a cause bibie no e kire sa se betim de yenya ka free o ma biem no wa e check ka free wo and me se me busa sa 7 no ewura president yi ano ma me misre na da roma se ebetimi me anya ka free a na ma yemfa ya ho ntoso because yentimi nya na ye sa nti sa na da 7 no eno no ana biem ana misra ana biem arwade na meso ahyenkom last year 30th July 2023 bibia ntimi nsesa onyankopon tie wura domama esa bakonya no so biem arwade na ka kira me ana me kae ewiase atumfo biara awonbane atumfo bia ntimi ntwam na bibia no obi yenso a ebetimate sa awurade adwen e wo ho awurade hya Ghana manyina na dia me pesa metia ne eye Ghana card na me tese etimi me nya ka free etimi me menya Land Cruiser ye benya ship kratinam ye benya private jet no mesra mo eye no kra na se enya no kra munche.
All right, so this basic question ena Reverend Opambo Prophet 1 ebisa His Excellency John Dramani Mama ene entourage call say open chiremu say Ghana card no krese kitawa utiminya ka. This is a very simple thing because Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and I'm Ghana. All the problems in Ghana I was a Ghana card it me solve it. In fact, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ma Ghana 40 as I say, he Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia prefers one Ghana card to 1,000 interchanges in the country. Yamanam Kayo, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Kai. Say if you give him one Ghana card and then 1,000 interchanges he Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will take the Ghana card because he believes the Ghana card will solve all the problems in the country. Reverend Opambo Ekansemuya Vim lady say on TV da. But you Vim lady.
Meantime, Prophet 1 you say Prophet 1 Kumasino. He's also open Masempa. This we got the lady about the same. Well, Prophet 1 I know any shenanigans near the end, but I think that this issue about Ghana card, anybody who condemns Ghana card now, said you Brumanu said Zumuna so said you why you know form because look, ID identification, that is what has made Europe near Broche. That insurance Ghana card should not even be a contentious issue. This is the
Epacho, what you assume Vim lady kind. One tiny year, Epacho, let me just repeat it once again.
Meantime, Prophet 1 you say Prophet 1 Kumasino. He's also open Masempa. This we got the lady about the same. Well, Prophet 1 I know any shenanigans near the end, but I think that this issue about Ghana card, anybody who condemns Ghana card now, said you Brumanu said Zumuna so said you why you know form because look, ID identification, that is what has made Europe near Broche. That insurance Ghana card should not even be a contentious issue.
All right. Enti Afia Pokuaa say, wow, Obeka se Ghana card. Enye na wadwen wo fom. Na eno ena ama Europe ni America nyina a develop. This is Afia Pokuaa. Na me no kasa America. Watana Ghana nyi akọ school ho. Ena wa relocate to US. Ena wo kan kire Ghana fo nyina say, okwa America eye card ena ama America develop. Oba Europe eye card ena ama Europe develop. We know Kwame Nkrumah from say, look how stupid they are. And a cream custom you can say Jimmy. In fact, I see a don't see Jimmy and yet Papacho Inti. All right, school and Papa Jimmy, what Jimmy? This is the key word. We are say and Afia Pokuaa can't just a card any developers are mine. She should tell us just one country or see Europe son. America only on chere say his America and as America side ben a card in a developing America. You know, when you fall into the system and you don't take your time to understand her, then you always make I don't want to be using some words. When we are going to be making arguments in here, let me just pause there because on this particular platform, I don't insult. That is something I have vowed not to be doing. But you're with him. Afia Pokuaa Vim lady, and Chile Ghana for a Ghana card and a problem and a solve our Ghana. Just one problem, just one. I look at a Ghana card, our Ghana, a solve. Bawumia, His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Bawumia catch last year say, one Ghana card is better than 1,000 interchanges, meaning look at a Ghana card, a better chain development, a cost of Krumina. He and Afia Pokuaa should tell us just one project, a better. Ghana card a better say no dey interchange in Ghana a better say no na yiri ko nya accident na ambulance na be fa na yiri fi ho ade na why didn't they use Ghana card and we are seeing a crewman so and a card and a developer. You know, when you don't understand the whole system, you make some kind of argument out. It doesn't actually make sense. Ghana card by itself and important, but a number na e also no, that is what is more important. And your card no. So when you make mistake and you get confused about a lot of things, that is where and how you start to make suggestions or you start to speak in a particular way. One say, Oba Bruchira, card J and your force. If you're Pokuaa, you know, card J, card and your force. When you have passport, it works the same way as card. Or driver's license, it works the same way as the card. And the acquisition of a national ID card and yet that important. And even assuming without admitting say a more important, the social security number also no, which is the Ghana number also no. That is more important. That is the reason why His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Esha say Osi Accra Digital Center data never be ejuma. And your card no. And these people, when they mount platform, they start to speak as if say they have sense. Meanwhile, they are clueless about what is happening in the world. Onima de crocodile card in the year. Onim se card they get on the card. Oko bank, police initial not just driving license, whatever. They just use a picture there also no. Any social security number, a one kasa energy, and your card no. That is what is important. So Obinima, sometimes that is what they've been doing. Well, yes, I'm mistaken. This we are here. Then people start to attack you and think and say you are a fool. But okay, it's what you baby at them. Carlo for what to say? Patience. And then the why are there? Then we secure you, and that's it. Why are there? I'll come back to you later. And somebody should tell him, lady says she's rather no. I mean, using the word very seriously. So Gyimini because she doesn't even understand what is happening in the world. There is nowhere in the world that they can't any develop it, but rather than we use intelligent people. To say John Dramani Mahama and did develop a mind and your card need to develop it. If you look at a card a your social security number also know that is written on your card and then NBC data center or near link it to it. That is why when a police or you give your Ghana card to banks or you do everything with your Ghana card, your boss had data number now. It links to the data service in this one. If you have a question, you know all this US in fact card in the developing US. Which part of US in the card in the developing here? You know, when people get confused about all these kind of things, and then they present themselves to say, "You're my coach school, me a lawyer, me nyansa there be suku and Papa Jimmy, what Jimmy, suku and Papa Jimmy, what Jimmy." You should be telling them all these kind of things. Yes, what Jimmy, because one nyansa, that is where and how I was starting making some and kwasia tembi. Now you are boastfully thinking, say, you are more reasonable. Say, wow, because a Ghana card, and now I'm going from. Afia Pokuaa won't award from because you don't even know what is on the Ghana card. You think it's a card and it's more important. And your Ghana and your Gyimia, Kuromenso now card, they give you free card. Yes, tell me, Kuromenso. National ID card, Kuromenso more free card. Instead, Ghana, by being led by Alhaji Dr. Bawumia, our friend, and also a digitalization man, obey implementing Ghana for be a major national ID number. National ID number. Nanka audo kwa print more A4 sheets. So that's how a card they go for loan and then come to give the card out to people for free. When you answer upon board in the back, Ediamano.
Yes, well, presenter. See, your dear Bayon. Said, dear human, were you? One tears, yes, said, if what can be bisa. No coach in the station to a body for one was someone. Anna, Walker said, me papa said, one tears said, a prophet to Anka Bibisa. Now, Obibia Rebecca said, Ghana card. Ya de J taxi and ya de J car biano. Na service any panel. Ni new deal form. Ababa wa waka asasem no. Me catch na when you may say. And ya wo O vice president a wudi na chi on e kan sa asem. Enya me papa opambo na kan ye. O vice president ana aka ye wo bibia wa ha. Enti wo ye oba na wo kasa. Fa nyansa ani adwene ato wo kasa wo ka. E ma atem de ni nkwase akasa emfiri wadu mu masa. Hwe wo kasa yi. Wo hwa na de asem kase abrawo. Wo sa ba no na wadwene wo fam a wunnim nyansa. Wo ne wabusuafo no wo maame ana munim nyansa mo ye nkwasiafo me ka kire wo ne. Se wonim nyansa a nyansa wo timu anka wo mie wa no enka sa nkwase akasa ne da. Se ya se frɛ ne se Afia Pokuaa se hwan se Vim lady ase hwan no. Wo Gyimi kasa ne wo nkwase akasa no. Be very careful. Wafo afifa chano wan fa ma ha. Wafo afifa ne wani ensu ade ne wo nkwase ade a. Be very careful. Na wan fa mafia anya sa eja befo ani so no obi a wo kasa asem we bia no sabi ne onim nyansa. One me odi fom bacha. O ye sure prophet da asisia. O ye nipa me bacha prophet. O abusia me bacha. Aya penidin ene de wo no nyina. Ne fa bread. Ede se me kasa ntia na abusiafo. Kasa ntia na me papa no be kasa ntia me. Then me mani yemba. Aye sani ya me pe Jesus. Onyame to me mu. Yes. So unu se ne misi tie na. Eno me ne chance se ba. Eno me no Nyankopon no me ne chance se me to me na. Wa bra woni di na tamo. Hebru inkatari ba dia ba bia me gina be di be fa no. Ba bia me di be gina me di be fa no. Be ma kro be wa no be nya asem. That's right. Be ma kro wa no obi di ne be ma wu na sisekim.
All right, enti Reverend Opambo Prophet 1. And so I hit it back to Afia Pokuaa. And I mean, who's on why charitable with the words are OUC? Because one will say people like Afia Pokuaa, they should know better because what go school, unimadie. So you can actually read, you could actually read and write and know, read in between the lines. Say, Asema Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, does it make sense or it doesn't make sense? Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to Ghana so a digitalization man. Yet Ubisan said digitalization also, you know. Which aspect of digitalization he cannot even tell you which of the digitalizations and on Wankasa Hojuma. Afia Pokuaa doesn't even know this. She doesn't even know this. I call school, so I am using school, no own use school, no. And sometimes stupidly no make argument because ne how you say Opambo a precision mama and she Afia Pokuaa is in support of Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. That is the reason why I know who is her. But Afia Pokuaa, you got it all wrong. Sometimes you are being a so we are mistaken as we are being a tonchenya or body nankasa bebre send Avram be Moshe kano. I been a new body in the say I been a woman in Yajumano and no my mouse a particular answer way. And yes, Anka War we don't even need to be going this kind of style for you anymore. What a Ghana, when a Ghana, what should I Ghana, and what benefit Ghana got in the US? Yes, to the US are means two more moments Ghana. No more be or no, or corrected the wrongs in the society. No, you tend to attack that kind of person. Why being with them? You know, Ralph, and common sense is not common to all. Afia Pokuaa is exhibiting lack of common sense in all her endeavor or cutting the US. No, she doesn't even understand. Say, hardship in our Ghana, no, ebini ho. US wants a hardship on ebini and you think a card number US a developer you got it all wrong and your card a nyansa for and a developer US ama waka kotana ho and this John Mama baby developer Ghana you rather not have to work for John Mama and you're clueless Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia because Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia doesn't even know why he wants to become president.
Mumbastiano emami mumma mistiano na minchikano
we ye nipa eto abamano
and
you need to go back and then re-strategize again and come to attack Ghanaians or attacking Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and then akufo-addo nebuchadnezzar a governance we say we should be telling you Afia Pokuaa because you got everything wrong and you need to learn card in developing mind nyansa for in developing mind with better systems, better infrastructure. Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia catch Ghana for so or the Ghana post GPS abano. Wo Afia Pokuaa wo ana mama and papa and nipa be na onim Ghana or the Ghana post GPS and nante. You want to tell Ghanaians that digitalization is better than what? You don't even understand digitalization. Koneko sunyade. Enye mailis are sitting in front of the camera and then speaking, makes you wiser. No, you need to learn. Abrochina wabane, take your time and learn. Don't rush. I watched one video of Afia Pokuaa to worker say cultural shock. We got one guy in the US where Afia Pokuaa say the word cultural shock Afia Pokuaa you don't even understand. Because Obahona went up and I say, whether this is how we say fair cultural shock. You don't even understand it. So if you're Pokuaa should learn, I better not bruchine sunyade because bruchine nyansa for any developer mine. Yamfa Jimmy and dig any developer bruchine that be a nyansa for natana baby. And we said this is why when we do this, it gets to this point. What's a Ghana and a Ghana card? Dear problem, let's solve your Ghana card. It is only in Ghana and Adodanko akufo-addo any Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia catch the Ghana for say or more a developer Ghana yet Ghana ni be anywhere or who the kind of development or Madeba. Recently I saw the news almost say more the 5G aba. Yet Ghana ni be at also auto data na nasa. Auto data or Ghana a quarter say what is the fastest fighter jet in the world? A cost speed ni be. And your 5G impo. Also, you tell Ghanaians say, what the 5G about system, yet Ghana and Ibian all benefited that particular 5G. Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia mounted to his stage when he met the press and Kojo Sheldon asked him, say, data is more important and as far as that data is very expensive in Ghana. No. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia claims that he doesn't even know. Into a kwano baby sir. How many days in the answer ba? Afia Pokuaa doesn't even know this. What about in the US? In the internet for free and supersonic internet over 5G network. And I would tell you can kwasi asem actually Ghana for. You know, you need to learn. Amamu enye wo a wubu man na catch them say me ye bi ma wo. Except him amufuo no any who say something is happening in and around their lives. And this is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia so the digitalization bi aba. Enye ono na yes o nam catch the Ghana for dabi. E was say Ghana need team woni ni who sampa digitalization no aba and it is in effect. Na eye adwuma bi ma me. Digitalization na solve problem or any challenge in the society no. Enye digitalization. I've told you countless times say nipa na odi Uber buy no US onye president onye assemblyman kro US e nyansa no wo e na do developer man no Elon Musk onye assemblyman onye president yet Donald Trump me president Elon Musk and this is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say he has some idea about digitalization aside software na wakofa or the bo electricity kro no Ghana na o here so be president management for because digitalization merely fact say you know something about digitalization doesn't mean that you could become a president of a land. No, it doesn't work like that. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia na oba or say what the economy na buy no. E ba say na need or say what digitalization man or IT man. Digitalization na chere say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia catch the Ghana for say ukita digitalization be my school feeding kwa no yet ma digitalize no. Pa cho okay how many months in there? Afia Pokuaa we are asking you how many months in there? You sit somewhere because when your camera and when you cheap microphones when him and then you speak as if say you unim nyansa. It doesn't work like that. Asema or pam boka that is a fact because Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Ghana for quarter say with Ghana card no Ghana need for flight on here visa. Emma me any ye mu bi ka chen say Ghana need ba Ghana on here visa na wa Ghana. In do kita Ghana card it doesn't guarantee you anything. Afia Pokuaa when you know in the system. And Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia can say Ghana ni kwa Ghana no kita Ghana card on visa. Oh to US na Ghana ni be na kwa Ghana or the visa na kwa. Well, all these kind of people they are all educated fools. Educated fools. Yes. Ruben, she is full of lies and misinformation. Exactly. That is how Afia Pokuaa and some people are. Omaya magesi omo mpe John Dramani mama ne NDC asem. Enti always you know nsema omo de be dada nipa enkwa na omo ye. Emete abruchi dada say na wo Afia Pokuaa aba. Abruchi kuro be so na de Ghana card and I the card in the developer ye. E social security number na wo so no e na di developer ye madam enye card no. Enti uni makọ na obi nchira wo. Enti Ghana card it doesn't solve any problem in the society. Yenti won ekwe Ghana card still na yekọ to ba manfo di lie ekwaje voters ID card. Ghana card they challenge in the solve they problem in the solve your mind. If you say you want to confuse everybody in the society, we will not allow that. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia can never be president in the country because oni adwen na yedibu mind no, oni sa adwen ni bi o mind no. Yes, William Carp say which of his useless applications works or in use? I don't even know. Minimum application Crodd or say taxi app. Mimi who I would have done yankopon.
Jimmy and people for Jimmy, me who be stupid people. I don't know why I belong to that political party.
Sometimes obi a Ghana ho a ye jai Ghana ma se be nkwasiafo bi no mo twe Ghana kwa chiri They don't even know how to move Ghana forward. And then they keep on telling people some things that it doesn't actually exist in the society. Obisa NPP ni biya, Asembia, a free SHS. And the digitalization. They make Ghana to become as if say free SHS and anyone can Ghana ni biya school. I get confused about how Ghanaians. Oh, so there is something wrong about Ghana. Me say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia eko jina be no more born na youth na you need to ask them serious questions no more sir. So what kind of people are we? Somebody comes in front of you say Mama Mayor also president. Now I call for musician be jina say mo nyom na sir. Now say we are koto ba mama. Do nim nyansa na say den. Ade na mon for so mon to ma bo. Enka just there be mon my microphone name miss our question. That is how you need to be doing things. And yes, it will be a fun in the bag or some musicians didn't achieve a say more now chama won't to many you need to wise up. You need to wise up. Please. Baby, you do 2024, 2025 in the economy. We are not going back. We are moving forward. And the Ghana ni bisa won say ade be bo ma setenam e wo man no. If I chose on to beside this kind of questions now, there be not politicians or no. I don't care if you are John Mama or Bamud Bawumia, but they will think say unim nyansa, but you need to tell them to no minim nyansa. When the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. And the exchange rate in the so and any panel can just say you have warped logic to think say fundamentals are weak. Would there question with maybe sir Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia based on that?
Open economy with market determination of prices. Exchange rate movements are the most important indicator of underlying macroeconomic fundamentals. As the saying goes, when in doubt, observe the exchange rate. The lesson from history for governments is that you cannot manage the economy with propaganda. In fact, you can engage in all the propaganda you want, but if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you.
Did I utter this kind of words? Afia Pokuaa, you need to ask Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia these kind of questions. Now I can't check Ghana for say the man has actually failed. Intie Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia nankasa yere. Intie ono nankasa.
Akufo-addo na CD no 1.2. Okay. And over 8 years no. Omo movie CD no to 4.2. More than 300% increase.
Look at you.
To 4.2. More than 300% increase.
Look at you.
The dollar to CD is 5.4. If NDC were managing the economy, it drew 12 points, baby.
So what I say? Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, you don't know. I said President Kufuor, dollar was $1 to Ghana, 2 Ghana cedis. John Mama Beji yeno or the free 2 echo drew 4.2. And she actually said say over 8 years. One will say I can't say ubia gain or format. These are the kind of make on myself no. John Mama at a was about 8 years and yet over 8 years. And I don't know who is telling this kind of people say they should start to be saying things that it doesn't actually exist in the society. Yes, Samira Bawumia can't ask him where not in Yansenia, Wako school, where presenter, radio presenter, camera science, you also I national television. So and he couldn't tell Samira Bawumia say, Amamun, you're 4 years, and yet over 8 years. Emma Samira Bawumia, a casting will sorry call free. SNDC, so say, NDC in a Tiama Muma. Anka dollar no atwam 7 cedis. Ebacho ebia wanti ho yi. Mame nko na me san enhya ase na tie ni yi. Samira Bawumia ensema okaye. Samira Bawumia. Se nka dollar no se nka NDC na tiso anka bedu sen.
If NDC were managing the economy, it drew 12 points, baby.
What I say? Was it NDC in the term no so nanka do 12 point something, meaning say as at the time of speaking this words no not dollar no around 7 until say NDC dey any mamamu nanka NDC in the term konwa so nanka NDC abon say ye dey do 12 point something and then ni kunu na ono si ni kunu ya den aduru 17 Ghana cedis dey na say me dey Bawumia kan. Afia Pokuaa cannot ask these kind of people these questions. Say hey, what now catch the Ghana for say NDC for I raise $10 no over 300%. Emani could do 2:4. 2:4 over 300%. Ya diati. Who could not be from 4? Who according to as at the time of speaking, no they could do 7. What's the any better? NDC for a bon. Say NDC for the take on Yaswa and commonly drew 12 and they could do 17. Afia Pokuaa go and ask her. Say how do you call your husband now? I was a low IQ syndrome. Many rough, but I say. As I been in your juma, Samira Bawumia can't say we know him say you couldn't be 16 kura. Couldn't have bon. That is what Ghanaians are asking now. Into Afia Pokuaa Vim lady, you need to ask these questions. And could be say your mama no pam bon kwasi asem. Because your mama is not the president, your mama is your opposition leader. It is a mamonum koye na say who problem be. You need to ask the ruling government, not the opposition. Ghana and Kwan when people have problem with the society or with the economy or with governance, then they go to ask the opposition leader. They kind of money. As a Muslim and Ado say Bawumia Muslim say they don't even understand it. Nipa na wabeje ko nwa firo bi nsem say nipa na bon no 8 years ni amamu ne say ya na wo say ko bi say nipa na eja amamu ne fi nsem no. They asem ni. As a nipa no ubu man usuro no. Ask Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say hey, when you were coming you say we economic waste kid. Wale Adam Smith. Unim nyansa utimi list 170 questions e de koma obi. Na ene edu so no ye bisa 5 for pa usu. Kennedy Japan we kan na mo fi say odi agoro.
Dr. Bawumia jina ona no dindindi obeka when your fundamentals are weak, your exchange rate will expose you. That time now $1 to 4 cedis, and net $1 to 12 cedis. Okay, as we did them. The next day, propaganda, the whole Ghana newspapers were cut off. I don't insult. I tell the truth. You said all these things, and I'm drawing the attention of the delegates. Say,
ono ankasa Kennedy Japan do ono ankasa campaign mu. Enenenam. Or say, what Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, you said all these kind of things. Economy ne ban say na ne u benefit home. Afia Pokuaa go and ask. And your pambo bisa answer question now could dinner them. Let's move on. Sometimes when you uti say uncle because I don't even know.
Economy we ya ho chiri say. Mo fi say mu nyansa amamo. Ya da say samo free ho. President ni no wadi ni 8 years e wadini yete bi enti no kika nsem saa no na sika mpedidi onimzi woni chance bia bi okọ sika mpedidi some more person to ask mo say 8 years to break you break it and we shall see. How can you people sit in this country for people to fool us, think that we are just stupid people and they just don't respect us? Any stupid decisions then they put before.
Ni muse suku wo empopa Gyimi, Gyimi. Suku empopa Gyimi. Gyimi. Enti suku Crodd bia obehia dia kosi Gyimi ni empopa se Gyimi. Ya wu Gyimifoɔ a wo
All right, 1 hour with Munufie, Midi, any William Munufie, Amankona, Pacho say, Nene da we can't say patience. I walk Ireland, Kerala. Subscribe, mommy. Saturday be my life on 7 patience. I want to see you live. Well, unsubscribe. I mean, who's the one subscribing to know? Patience, subscribe it. Let me know. But that's it. Let's move on from here. Recently, a lot of things happened at the Parliament House. Speaker Baben, AUZ, Article 97, 1, G and H, catch the Ghana for say 4 members of Parliament be almost sitting a vacant. Now, Afenya Markins, the current minority leader, or say a majority leader, but or a minority leader, because say Speaker Barben declare 4 seats in Parliament vacants. Emma NDC by year majority, Emma NPP by year minority. Until the Speaker Bessia can the same thing our Parliament and honorable Afia Markins, Supreme Court and your Parliament House. You need to understand these kind of things. All the 3 arms of government in Ubia in Ejuma, executive no president in Edano, judiciary no chief justice in Edano, and about Parliament as well, Speaker in Edano. Supreme Court and your Parliament House. Into honorable Afia Markins. You can run, any idiot can go to court. Go to court and let the court declare the Ghana constitution here, unconstitutional. It can still not change anything. Say Speaker Barben, Emfa Bano, Mohawk Maya. You are still the minority leader. You need to understand these kind of things. About 1 hour, going to go and fight and win and come back to Parliament. I was shocked, say a whole lawyer to say Afia Markins say, so no contra minority side that spiritually it's not good for them. Why can't you say Ghana near there? Parliament is down there, Papa there. Now what you say, what baby spiritually you go to opposition. And you Ghana nipa Gyimi, when we are talking about governance, a whole lawyer is talking about spirituality in the Parliament House, about governance. Or you already say president within chino, yet he is only thinking about position on the wall and the spiritual aspect of life. These are stupid peoples. To be honest, sometimes I get annoyed. Honorable Afia Markins, he was one of the most gentleman politicians in Ghana. I really liked him. But he's becoming, say these days, this man is becoming unbecoming. As or shifting away from the reasonable Afia Markins, now me notice somebody, me who know how to, my pencils I draw Afia Markins and Afia Markins 7 years back. Now can draw the current Afia Markins, no. 7 years back, can draw say or no. But currently, the minimum idea draw. Because the character and assassin, he is not thinking about governance, but he's only thinking about position. And that is what he's happy about. And he's not surprised and say, oh, you're cool. And he made 2 chairmen and both with the mouth. What was the only thing you money? And then you run, oh, now Supreme Court and make the judgment, Supreme Court to be court to be. And your court now, my packet cover, NPP chairman, I court now only be and I said, court as a mocha. When he Ghana for you know was a court in a year. Honorable Afia Markins, you should be worried about this. CDD, Mo Ibrahim, Opa Wankasa Honorable Afia Markins, disguise yourself and ask how the Mobian was Honorable Afia Markins in it. Take camera and microphone and walk across the streets of Ghana. What the Ghana no, Wankasa constituents away MP no. Kobi say, how do you see the judgment out of the Supreme Court? Let's answer in the mouth. Yeho, now be the clear understanding say Ghana for and supported by the ni and a Kukurumutino.
Na ebasa abato decided so beto ama NDC e wo asem anyo nyame masa obi so nsa emfa unsa intim so baby and they wa adwuma.
All right, so President Nana Addo akufo-addo say ebasa obeto ama NDC and NPP a e wa wasem osi Kukurumutino obi so nsa mfa nkotim baby enti we decide say wo obehwe ono Nana Addo a wase Ghana na ase akoto abama Alhaji Dr. Bawumia any honorable Afia Markins ma e wa wasem Pacho Ghana for this is a very brilliant statement from His Excellency Nana Addo akufo-addo and I really appreciate it. What kind of natural Ghana for? Or say integrity in a wankasa out there. You need to make serious choices for yourself. I don't even need to be telling you who to vote for and whom to vote for. There be a wankasa out there. Uhe wasitinam uhe obutum. Now uhe Gyimifoɔ Afia Markins no Gyimi now say obepene say or no the Parliament House no adan say any papa fie nti ya mfere majority leader na on tiase a wa wasem. But you need to understand say governance. Enya sorry ko and enya mosque ko. Yewo imam wo ene wa asofo ho omodwuma no e different governance no e wo ye de beboa wo wasetenam ushia honorable Afia Markins bisa ne say honorable die na waye ade aboa me masetenam die na NPP aye de aboa me a wo pese yense nto aso na wo kowura parliament ko majority leader e die aside car na obaje ni salary a woje kire me bi fa sembia hwe na de kopi wo de ko wankasa wo namfo ho. Yo East African proverb or say we check kromfo no go fameko koto bisa ho say court no dey na ho bokona na bra na ho. The current Supreme Court no man am apaki nipa de ko wura ho nti they even come out with a judgment that nobody understands and then predictability no very straight Ubisa akwala wodi 10 years kwala say oh asem we the court Supreme Court outcome be dem a e be den before the judgment akwala be can oh afenya Markins be win it. Chief Justice, you need to be worried about this kind of things. And yes, ube kofi no ebe ha wankasa. Obe the Chief Justice no ba obe sorry say kofi no be say Ghana ni bi ehia wa unrespectable because ene Ghana for et Ghana chelo say justice system in the country no engine. And you need to be careful about all these kind of things. We Chief Justice all right, but you need to be careful about how you make judgments because judgments in Adeba no enye clear to Ghanaian. Article 97(1) G and H and a clear it has nothing to do with future. Mine if any future parliamentarian. Maybe who be that they say he be the space or you. It is a what and I was say that intent a future. I don't even understand what you mean. But a mankasa 5-2 the muna minima the future. So it is up to you. One kasa integrity in a wow there. Opa na yehojuma opa onye hojuma. Nobody cares about you. Yes, but when you're rough, I would think a justice system for politicians in a year because executive no you call abato ya tomusaba, legislature no you call abato ya tomusaba, judiciary nkwana yen tomusaba. Think a one day nipa two way problem na dey alcohol, but say another arm of a political party there, then there's a problem. And the women organizer, MPP National Women Organizer, I think the Chief Justice no, Ajiye. Lawyer cross or court workers, I was a hey, tenase. As a headmaster name could I be? On Tiasma can because somehow can on what Bona being potted that say, and any other can be but what making judgment in what them may be as an odeba. And when you watch court proceedings, the ultimate say, Attorney General and a justice is not much on what they should even do. Where Ghana, Kangaroo, Ghana, Pan, Ghana, and there is any mark kingdom no. And then people from some aspect, Abba say, let's destroy the nation and test. And we say Ghana no kwenyansa for bi. That is what the NPP is doing now. They are testing who say Ghana nyansa for. But my country on the 7th of December 2024, and the women who say unim nyansa and unim nyansa. Oye tima ni papa and now tima ni papa. Oye Ghana ni papa and now Ghana ni papa. Ope Ghana yi and now pe Ghana yi. On the 7th of December 2024, and at tima mufu ibu. Until the ball not to her penalty, keep an them. On Kwan and Roko Jina bootunum. Say, bo nashe, oh, but what you know, say, oh, boy, as a more general, we will know.
Jimmy and people for Jimmy, me will be stupid people. I don't know why I belong to that political party.
All right, I was for 1 hour with Munufieni. That is how we're doing it. But you said I'm kind of subscribe. Yeah, just take your time and subscribe for me. And I can't say no boom baby. But I need to say Ghana Juma any year. Ghana and Sem ne yeka. Why you Ghana ni papa? You have to be part and parcel of the game. President Anado catch the Ghana for you and say Yanka Mambun who now or Yabon Yanka. And then another nebuchadnezzar. Or no quite team yesterday you man home. And the man who fans. But when him surprisingly, no, some people might have forgotten. When President Kufuor, president, or Ma or no Kasa no home meda, okay. So he's become his NPP for almost a year. Kamamuni bekwe we are President Kufuor Maya Emma or no Kasa no home meda, so I there. He was then president, no new opposition leader, and I said, or new ex-president. He was president. And he said, Nana Ado Danko akufo-addo, Nana Ado show boy. Nana Sewa Bruni boyfriend. A sister to you, the more one and fans are new to NPP. That is their modus operandi. And you be an honorable Afia Pokuaa say, you know, which you know, friend honorable, one for majority leader and come on Tiasie. For the Bob Blues. When I confuse each other, baby, I said, and a majority leader was a winner that now they're we here. Utiati NPP to co-position. All right, this is when you show you my patch on your subscriber, you subscribe. So what question be answer now or the comment about? Ralph say part of the state capture. Yes, that is what they've been doing because that is the kind of nipa. Yebeka omubiso munsu. Yebeka omubiso munsu. Chief Justice, be careful. But Gyimifoɔ no ehwe. Now all these people say October on the 7th of December 2024 and that's a John Mama win and that's a if you who say John Mama win ya. Was it post it be ampema and trans again in me pamo. But you yet say obi ohwe toilet to so no. You talk about we are John Mama win ya na wa resign. Apa John say John me anam kase meye. Enso majaye. Ko NDC eba no ye ba be develop Ghana na Ghana na ye be develop no ye mfa nipa bone for any be develop Ghana no. NDC is coming to develop Ghana with Ghanaians. And yet anti-Ghanaians and they will be developing Ghana. That is how you need to understand say Ghana no esesa. Amamun ebesesa. Timamunina and I say or pass it papa. Ama ono ne ho ene ne ma ene ne dachen. So that is why Ghana for you na carbon efre his SLZ John Dramani mama say o me for me aban no na yenhwe amamu papa. Pacho enyestia na bi mo bia. Mo fastia no ema me. Nti Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia na kasa nim say the campaign stia no atonsuom.
Ono a say campaign no atonsuom. Atonsuom.
All right, nti wa question bia no pacho obetimi abisa me. Ako school a me pacho yehu say school empepa Gyimi. Say wa Gyimi a wa Gyimi.
Eni mo say school wo ho empepa Gyimi, wa Gyimi a wa Gyimi.
All right, it is school empepa Gyimi. Wa Gyimi a wa Gyimi. And no one that said Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia PhD holder or also a economist no and never shifted so a IT man. IT the substance which part of the IT are you a unyabinka? Enya mama. Say mama. Bisa. A DNA bema obia nim so oyed economist. Ama African Union kwatimi so man ko Zimbabwe. So unko bo Zimbabwe for to solve the economic challenges. E ko say economy in Zimbabwe no. Ebedu Ghana, ebeye vice president under the gas or economist. Owie na mamuna nko ya also a digitalization man. Epacho enya nwa. You need to be asking all these kind of things. Na idea na be map kwa we assistant na what to say aposoma kotere no. All of a sudden assistant. Enti enene yere na otena simpie so kan say ni kunu ni betima solve economic challenge in the society because NDC for abono ene okogina ha o se Ghana for o ye full anini enti yento bantia no. Now what is wrong with Ghana and Nikas almost full any me first leader? What is wrong? And now if we Ghana for Nusuradi and Azade. Ghana ni share was a mirable me and him can't just we full and in Tima on my first leader Ghana. Ubi any bit my booby over Yazio. Ubi any ho. Piano girl. Greetings, Medasi. You have a career. I say I cannot credit Chilomo because I owe a Ghana name who's a Ghana when you're Ghana. Yes, NPP they say opposition in the Omadu we in Kwasiafo way.
Kwasiafo pa. My Gyimi NPP for Gyimi. Me who be stupid people. I don't know why I belong to that political party.
When they say man na adu nkaza ekaye. Ene Mahmoud Bawumia, you be see toilet amamo.
In the time of Mills and Mahama, 2 CDs, $1. Okay. I can't be to me kofa Bawumia. Some be come home. Yeah, she say you sick as no. No.
Yeah, be see toilets.
I can't be free. Let me say yes,
Nanade.
See you now, hata. I want him be any.
You see, you're being a day.
You're the cost.
All right, and Ruben say, why in the map after your mark can see a majority leader? I say they are confused people. And you know, recently, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia kwejina ba bi say NDC for some open majority aisle parliament. Na majority is no, yeah, the ballot box in a year, in parliament. Yet he forgot say majority in they got it in the parliament house, in your ballot, because 137, and then one independent. And that independent and they can't say only NPP in the Bay Juma, and then the speaker and they can't say more majority side. So kasa only NDC na beye juma anka NDC na majority ema wo afenya markets kadada nyina we minority. But all say they are confused, so they are confusing and so your majority yene omo afenya markets NPP for again say government in power no ene majority. Dabi numbers ene di juma parliament had dynamo. I mean kind of say parliament down no enya ban out so Ghana former yehu in 2020 election say you bet when your president or a party and the majority in parliament so a different party possible. Let's assume that you call about in 2020 no. Senka this independent person now also mean send you could phone him to about Tiano because he is also confused person no. Eka sa wani NDC na be adwuma na nka NPP a minority all those na do ne Bawumia and a government no. Afenyo Markens Dr. Bawumia enim sa asem no. And I'm again say we are majority. Also when you majority we are the same numbers na munyi na mo. And even when say na yeka parliament metana say mo nkrofo no emma. Oh. Enti dede na wo ye no obenya majority no of court unya the parliament danom unya bi da. But my salute to speaker because everything being equal no. I had a video make us a speaker a coward but speaker actually me say oye speaker kaza oye baba na meminim no oye the true and die hard NDC for eya kudru for NDC for who for the same NPP for so that was a court ben court na what say group for go na fa court no sure okay
Nkwasiafoɔ pa ma Gyimian people for Gyimie me who be stupid people. I don't know why I belong to that political party.
All right, dear business for and 1 hour with Munufie, me do basic have me by life just 1 hour na mapon. I don't cross it. That is how I've been doing. I don't want to be going far because your other things are maybe also being quite aye. That is how we need to be doing. The build Ghana na enye di dekese because ye kaka krabi now ye badwen ma what you say.